Hello, I'm Ariel, your English guide. In this video, we're going to talk about 4 things that you can do every day to improve your English. I think we can all agree that learning English or learning any language takes time, effort, and dedication. But the most successful language learners find a way for their language to become a part of their daily life. It just becomes a habit, like brushing your teeth. If you want to improve, your English practice should become a daily habit. To help you with this, I'm going to share 4 things that you can and you should be doing every day to improve your English. And yes, I am suggesting that you do all 4 things every day, but they're not huge tasks. And we're going to talk about how you can make them a bit of fun, too. So come check it out. Let's share these 4 things that you should be doing every day. So, the very first thing on my list is pronunciation. Yes, you should be practicing your pronunciation every day. And it's not to try and get rid of your accent, but to make it clear enough that others can comfortably understand you when you speak. I can't tell you the number of advanced English students I've had who've had amazing grammar and vocabulary skills, but so much trouble communicating because their accent makes it quite challenging for others to understand them. So, of course, all of this affects smooth, positive, comfortable conversation. And depending on where you learned English, your teacher may not have focused on pronunciation. It may not have been the priority at the time. You see, if you learned English at school, your teacher's main aim was probably to get you high marks in your exam. Pronunciation was probably not their focus at that time, but in the real world, when you're using English to speak with other people, your pronunciation, your fluency when you speak, it's so incredibly important. Get into the habit of learning and using the correct pronunciation today because it's going to save you lots of headaches and confusion down the track. Plus, practicing your pronunciation every day consistently is going to help you to make noticeable improvements in a short space of time. So, how can you start doing this? I recommend that you learn the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. If you've never heard of it before or you don't know a lot about it, then watch this lesson up here. But learning the IPA will allow you to correctly pronounce every single English word using the correct English sounds. Another great way to practice your pronunciation is with my imitation lessons. In these lessons, I help you to copy me and shadow me as I speak. They're really awesome, quick 10-minute videos that you can practice with regularly. So, add them to a playlist and keep coming back to them to practice often. After you've practiced a lesson for a few times, make a recording of yourself and compare it to my voice. Try to identify some of the mistakes that you're making with your pronunciation. I've added a link to my imitation lessons in the description, and I'll add one at the end of this video as well that you can check out. You can also simply read out loud to improve your pronunciation. Doing this every day will help your mouth muscles get working and get more comfortable making English sounds. It's as simple as that. And it doesn't need to take you long. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day is plenty. Just make sure you're doing it consistently. You could even do it by singing English songs. Create one opportunity to absorb English every day. To absorb means to take in information. So, you're like a sponge soaking things up, taking in new ideas, new words, new ways of expressing yourself, and you can do this in lots of different ways, so many ways. Listening to a podcast or an audio book, You could watch an English movie or any video on YouTube, read a book or a blog post. In fact, you probably want to mix this up during the week, right? To keep things interesting. A podcast on Monday, read a book on Tuesday, whatever floats your boat. Now again, this doesn't have to be a huge, time-consuming task, but it's worth spending some time searching for the right type of content. It must be stuff that is interesting for you. If you're into football, or you love makeup tutorials, or romance novels, or soap operas, if you love the idea of sailing around the world, I've been watching a YouTube channel called Sailing La Vagabonde, and they vlog about their life sailing around the world on a yacht. In fact, if you're interested, I've added the link in the description below, but the point is, find something that interests you and excites you, because you need to look forward to doing it every single day. It shouldn't feel like you're doing English practice. So, I have two little recommendations here. Firstly, you need to find the time that you're going to do it and declare it. Speaking English as a habit involves a combination of consistent practice, mental adaptation, and practical application in daily life. Developing this habit begins with the realization that language learning is a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. To start, one should immerse themselves in an English-speaking environment as much as possible. This can be achieved by listening to English songs, watching movies, and reading books, newspapers, or articles in English. These activities expose you to new vocabulary, correct pronunciations, and diverse sentence structures. Gradually, the language will start to feel more familiar. One of the most effective ways to make speaking English a habit is to practice regularly with others. If you have friends, colleagues, or family members who are also interested in learning English, encourage them to communicate with you in the language. An important step in building this habit is learning to think in English. Translating every word from your native language can slow you down and cause confusion. Instead, try forming thoughts directly in English, even if they are simple. This practice helps your brain adjust to the new language and improves your fluency. To make this process easier, you can start with simple descriptions of your surroundings, such as, "The sky is blue," or "I'm walking to the store," and gradually progress to complex ideas. Additionally, practice speaking English aloud whenever you can. Recording yourself while speaking helps you evaluate your pronunciation, tone, and fluency. Listening to these recordings allows you to identify areas for improvement and track your progress. Shadowing, where you repeat sentences immediately after hearing them from a native speaker, is another effective technique to develop natural rhythm and intonation. For instance, you can mimic dialogues from movies or podcasts to familiarize yourself with conversational patterns. Consistency is key when forming a habit, so make a daily routine for practicing English. Set realistic goals, such as learning 5 new words a day or practicing 1 grammar rule per week. Use these words or rules in sentences to reinforce your learning. Writing can also aid in this process. Maintain a journal where you jot down your thoughts, daily activities, or ideas in English. Over time, you'll notice an improvement in both your vocabulary and your ability to express yourself. Modern technology provides numerous tools to support your learning journey. Language apps like Duolingo, Babbel, or Memrise offer structured lessons that are both engaging and effective. Grammar checking tools like Grammarly can refine your writing and help you learn from mistakes. Speech recognition tools can assist you in practicing pronunciation and speaking. These resources make the process of learning English interactive and enjoyable. Another vital aspect is practical application. Use English in real-life scenarios, such as ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions, or shopping. These activities not only improve your speaking skills, but also boost your confidence in using the language naturally. Joining English-speaking clubs, attending workshops, or participating in public speaking activities can provide a supportive environment for practicing without fear of judgment. Overcoming the fear of making mistakes is crucial. Understand that errors are a natural part of the learning process and serve as opportunities for growth. Focus on communicating your ideas rather than striving for perfection. Celebrate small victories, such as successfully completing a conversation or using a new word correctly, as they motivate you to keep improving. In summary, forming the habit of speaking English requires exposure, practice, consistency, and courage. By integrating English into your daily routine, engaging with others, leveraging technology, and practicing consistently, you'll gradually build fluency. Remember, the journey to mastering a language is rewarding, and the key is to enjoy the process while remaining committed to your goals. Further enhance your habit of speaking English. Embrace a mindset of curiosity and exploration. Treat English not merely as a subject to be learned, but as a living language to be experienced. This perspective shifts your focus from rote learning to meaningful communication. Explore different aspects of the language, such as idioms, slang, and cultural references, to make your learning journey more interesting. For example, learning phrases like "break the ice" or "the ball is in your court" not only enriches your vocabulary, but also gives you insight into cultural contexts. Another key strategy is creating a personalized learning environment. Surround yourself with English everywhere you go. Change the language settings on your phone, computer, and other devices to English. Follow English language social media accounts, subscribe to newsletters, and join forums or online communities where discussions take place in English. This constant exposure ensures that English becomes a natural part of your daily life. Developing a reading habit in English can also significantly improve your speaking skills. Start with material that matches your current proficiency level, such as children's books or simple articles, and gradually progress to more complex texts like novels, research papers, or technical manuals. While reading, pay attention to sentence structures, common expressions, and punctuation. Reading aloud can simultaneously enhance your pronunciation and confidence. To further solidify your habit, incorporate English into your hobbies and interests. If you enjoy cooking, follow recipes written in English. If you love music, listen to English songs and try to sing along. For gamers, playing video games with English dialogues or interacting with international players can be a fun way to practice. Aligning language learning with your passions makes the process feel less like a task and more like a natural extension of your lifestyle. Engaging in storytelling is another excellent way to practice speaking English. Narrate stories, Share your experiences or talk about your day in English, either to yourself or with others. This exercise helps you organize your thoughts and articulate them more effectively. It also improves your ability to use descriptive language and express emotions. You can also try creative writing, such as composing poems, writing short stories, or drafting scripts, to expand your linguistic creativity. To maintain motivation, set clear and measurable goals. For instance, aim to participate in a 10-minute English conversation daily, or learn 10 new phrases each week. Break larger goals into smaller, manageable steps, and track your progress regularly. Reward yourself for achieving milestones to keep the experience positive and fulfilling. This approach ensures that you stay focused and enthusiastic about your learning journey. Social interaction is a crucial component of making English a habit. Attend events where English is spoken, such as meetups, workshops, or cultural festivals. Volunteer for roles that require communication in English, such as guiding tourists or assisting at international events. These opportunities not only provide practical exposure, but also foster a sense of community and belonging. For advanced learners, diving into specialized fields of English, such as business, academic, or technical language, can broaden your skills further. Participate in webinars, online courses, or discussions related to your profession or interests, all conducted in English. This not only enhances your vocabulary, but also prepares you to use English in specific contexts, making it a valuable skill for career growth. When faced with challenges, remind yourself of your purpose for learning English, whether it's to advance your career, travel more easily, or connect with people worldwide. Keeping your goal in mind will help you overcome temporary frustrations. Adopt a growth mindset, believing that every mistake you make is a step closer to improvement. Surround yourself with supportive individuals who encourage your progress and celebrate your efforts. Finally, never underestimate the power of repetition and review. Revisit old lessons, reread articles, and rehearse previously learned vocabulary to ensure retention. Practice consistently, even if it's just for a few minutes each day, because the key to forming a habit lies in regularity. As you incorporate these techniques into your routine, speaking English will become second nature, empowering you to communicate confidently and effectively in any situation. That is your daily time to absorb English, so it could be on the bus, on your way to work, or while you're eating breakfast. I've always found that attaching an activity to the task helps you to make it part of your routine. And while you're doing it, just keep a notebook handy so that you can write down expressions or new words, which you can look up and check later on. Simple as that. Writing every day has some amazing benefits. But before I talk about that, I want to make it clear, I'm not talking about writing an essay, okay? I'm just talking about writing a few thoughts or a few ideas down. It only has to take a few minutes, and nobody ever has to see it. It's just for you. So, there are a few reasons why writing every day is an excellent habit to get into. It helps your vocabulary to stick. Writing is one of the best ways to recall new words and expressions that you've come across. When so many of my students have asked me, what is the best way to remember vocabulary? This is my recommendation. As you're reading or watching TV shows or books, you come across new ideas and words, and you write them down. but then you start to use them yourself. You think of sentences and your own ideas about how to use these words. That way, you're producing your own sentences rather than just listening to other people's, and it helps it just stick in your mind, and then you can improve it. Once you've written something, you can do so much with it. You can copy-paste it into a grammar checker like Grammarly to help you identify some of the errors that you're making. So, Grammarly is free to use. I've included a link in the description below because it's awesome. It helps you to see the mistakes that you're making, like maybe you're using the wrong preposition, or you don't need to use an article when you've written one. So, I really recommend that you take a look to help you see and realize the mistakes that you're making. You can also review your own work. Once you've finished writing, leave it for a few days or a few weeks, then come back to it. See if you can make any improvements, or if you can use a thesaurus to look up synonyms and replace some of the words with more advanced ones. These are just a few ideas, but getting into a daily writing practice creates so many opportunities for you to apply what you've learned, or what you've seen, or what you've experienced in English, and then review it and improve it. Lastly, join an English discussion about stuff that interests you. Now, this sounds serious and may be complicated, but it's not. I promise. I'm just talking about joining an active group or online community where there are people interacting. They're sharing their ideas, they're giving opinions, and you're able to respond. So you can comment and actually be part of the discussion as it happens. Now, this could be in person, but it can easily be part of an online community. Plus, that makes it, even easier to create a daily habit around it because it's simply about checking in and seeing what everyone else has been talking about and giving your 2 cents worth. So, how do you find these places? It takes a little work. You can't just Google cooking and join the first group that you find. Join a few different ones, see which one is the most active, which one has really interesting discussions happening in it. Sometimes nothing gets posted in these groups for days, and that's not really helpful for you, right? So I would start by writing down your top 5 hobbies or interests. Don't start with English language. What else are you into? Are you into politics, yoga, marketing, photography, sports? I mean, you probably already follow people or are part of groups like this. So all you need to do is commit to checking in once a day and write a comment. It's not more complicated than that. If someone shared something and they're asking for opinions, don't keep scrolling. It's an opportunity for you to share. So stop. Think of a way that you can contribute. Now, I'm going to add some great, really active and interesting groups in the description below just to give you a few ideas of what I'm talking about. But I want to know, are you already part of some lively Facebook groups or other online communities? What kinds of things do you discuss, and do you ever contribute? So if you can bring those 4 things into your daily routine in some way, you will absolutely, without a doubt, improve your English. Remember that it takes a little bit of time to create good habits. It's not as simple as deciding you're going to do it. So I've got a couple of extra tips to help you get started. Do your research first. Find a blog or a TV series that will keep you interested so you don't have to look for something to do. Okay? Give yourself a week or so to find the right type of community to join and be part of the discussions with. Then create a regular schedule to help you get started. And really, I just mean decide when you're going to do these four things. So, for example, pronunciation practice might be in the bathroom for 5 to 10 minutes every morning as you're getting ready for work. Then listening to your favorite podcast on your way to work and writing down your words on the bus. On your lunch break, it might be the time to check a Facebook group and write a group comment. Then spend 10 minutes at the end of your day writing about what you did or what you learned before dinner. Simply put that on repeat. Very quickly, you'll realize that English has become a regular daily part of your routine. Thank you so much for joining me today. You can connect with me on Instagram and Facebook here. I hope that you found all of these ideas and suggestions useful. Let me know if you're doing some of these things already or if you're planning to put any of them into practice. Let me know how it goes. And, as promised, here is one of my imitation lessons to help you work on your pronunciation. I'll see you in there.